Okay. It should be. I'm checking the page. Guys. Okay, and we're live. So I'm going to go ahead and share it on my page as well. And you guys can share it
Okay.
on your personal pages.
Okay.
Alrighty. 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 Well, come on in, guys. This is going to be our roundtable chat with our Joseph's Ministry staff on tonight. So come on in. Come on in. So I want to, before we get started, I want to just play our promo video for the company, just so you can, for those who are new to the company and aren't familiar about what we do and some of the services that we provide. I wanted to just play that before we get started. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. Hi, my name is Megan Pinckney, and I'm founder and CEO of Joseph's Ministry, LLC. Here at Joseph's Ministry, we provide 3 areas of service: book publishing, business startup, and website design. Our goal and our sole mission is to take individuals and businesses to their next level. We desire that when you hire Joseph's Ministry, you will receive your deliverables and support in a manner that directly reflects our 4 core values. Our core values are integrity, teamwork, consistency, and courage. I've incorporated my very own personal experiences and lessons learned throughout each area of service that we provide. Therefore, all of our clients will receive a more enjoyable process. We believe that we are not just called to business, but we're also called to ministry. Through our grant foundation, we provide funding and partnership with faith-based organizations to help them with their community development projects, educational seminars, as well as building growth projects. If you've heard anything today that sparks your interest and you want to work with Joseph's Ministry, contact us today by visiting our website at www.josephsministryllc.com. Cool. Well, welcome, guys. That is Joseph's Ministry. Today we have with us myself. I am Megan Pinckney. I am CEO and founder of Joseph's Ministry. And you guys can introduce yourself and your role here at Joseph's Ministry.
Lauren, you want to go first?
Hello, I am LaRonda Muse, and I am I do customer service for Joseph's Ministry, and I do all the client follow-up and information. I'm glad to be here.
Yes. And I'm Chris Shayla. I do the digital marketing for Joseph's Ministry. And I'm glad to be here tonight as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ladies. So how this is going to work on tonight is very informal, but we just wanted to provide an opportunity for anybody and everybody to ask us questions about any of our areas of service, our experience, and what we do here at Joseph's Ministry, how we can help you. You can access your specific needs. We do have some prepared questions. Some of the questions that we get more often, we're going to hopefully address that tonight. And I want to start off by asking LaRonda a few questions, because LaRonda is in a very unique situation, because she is also a part of the staff at Joseph's Ministry, but she's also one of our clients, that she published her first book through Joseph's Ministry. So I want to start off by asking LaRonda, from your experience, what made you want to work with Joseph's Ministry? Have you talked to other publishers, and what made you decide on Joseph's Ministry? Because you were looking at being an author before you came on staff, so there was no pressure for you to, publish with us. So I just kind of wanted to get your viewpoint and, tell the world about your viewpoint of being an author and also a staff member.
Well, I wrote a book, and it was actually 7 years before I actually published it. I finished it 7 years before I published it. And so it was just some delay in there. One of the things was my daughter's death, and that caused me to kind of delay on my publishing. But when I decided to publish it, I saw that Megan Pinckney had opened up a consulting company, and I'd always admired her for the books that she had written, and so, which is you. And so I decided that I was going to check it out. I think I'd asked her several times before about it and everything, and then I decided I wanted to check it out. And I was shocked and surprised at how reasonable the prices were, and at how open and receptive that she was, and how professional the company was in the handling of my book. And in that interim, before my book even got published, an opening came in the company, and I applied for it, and I got it. So actually, I was interested in publishing the book before I became a member of the team.
Perfect. And even before you actually became a client, did you pursue other publishing companies? And what were some of the differences, if you can remember, from
Every
their
time I looked at publishing companies, they were so expensive. So I mean, like, blow your mind expensive. So one of the companies I actually looked at probably was 3 times more than what it cost me to publish my book at Joseph Ministry. And I mean, it was no comparison to the service, because I got such personal service. These were companies where I would probably just be one in the number.
Right.
But with Joseph's Ministry, I got the consultation, one-on-one consultation, and then I got access to where I could contact the company. And what I liked about it also is that how Joseph's Ministry kept me updated at where I was on the publishing process. And that takes away a lot of anxiety when you're a publisher. So that's the other thing that I liked about it, that I had easy access to information, and I really didn't have to do a lot of calling or contacting, because the way the system is set up, I'm step by step, I was always contacted to let me know, okay, we're here now, and this is the next step. And I love that, because it takes away a lot of the anxiety and stress about being a first-time publisher.
Good. Well, that's good to hear. No, that's really good to hear. So while we're talking about your book, kind of tell people, what your book is about, and why you wanted to write this particular topic for your book.
All right. The name of my book is The Art of Successful Mothering. And the reason I chose to write the topic is because I was a single mom, or divorced mom, for over 20 years, and I was raising 7 children, 6 boys and a girl. And the people, especially in the church, I was in a large church, and my sons ended up in leadership. They ended up being successful in businesses, and people kept asking me, how did you raise your sons by yourself? How did you raise your sons? And even married couples were asking me how I raised those sons and my daughter so effectively as a single mother. And I actually was in prayer one day, and God told me, he said, the way you've learned how to be successful as a mother is not just happenstance. Or he said, it was because I groomed you for this. I groomed you to teach others how to be successful at mothering. And so I realized a lot of the things that happened when I was mothering was supernatural for a single mother, to be able to raise up men that were actually solid men. And so it was through the prompting of a lot of people, and even my own children, prompting me to write the book, that caused me to write the book.
Good. That was going to be my question. You said that you had it finished for so long, but you never really pursued it. So I know it's all about timing. So what was it about that time that you felt like it's time for me to stop procrastinating, and just go on and do it? Because I want you to, and I'm asking you very intentional questions, because I believe that your answers will probably help someone out there that's listening that may not ask the question. So I'm trying to think like someone, which I once was, someone who was wanting to pursue being an author, but just kind of timid and not knowing the process. So,
Well, one of the things I believe that at least the authors I've talked to, are people in general and nature of people, is you'll procrastinate, not set a date or not set a time, and just procrastinate on it. As I heard her voice one day and she said, "Mom, you've got to get this book out." And I said, here I was allowing the emotion of that tragedy to stop me, when in actuality, she was one of my biggest fans to move forward on the book. So I have a dedication in the book to her, because she was one of my greatest fans. So obstacles are always going to come, especially when you're doing things that you feel like God is prompting you to do.
right.
Obstacles are always going to come. Our job, God supplies all that we need. Joseph's ministry was there for me when I needed it. I couldn't see it because I was procrastinating, because I was caught up in my emotions, because I was just putting it off so long that I just started ignoring it. Then one of the other things was seeing the condition of the world. It always hurts my heart because I'm a mother and I love to teach. I'm a teacher. Teacher is part of my calling. And seeing children who were raised up and abused, or raised up and or mothers who are frustrated and just wanting to throw in the towel concerning their children, it sparked something in me to make me want to get the book out, so that people could see that with God and with His guidance and the guidance of the Holy Spirit, that He makes mothering. It's not going to be easy, but He makes the flow much better, and the outcome is what shocked me when I saw my children. And that's another thing. When I actually wrote the book, I had children still at home. When I finished it, I still had children home and they were trickling out. But when I saw the success of my children as adults, I said, wow, God was directing me at what to do. So that let me know that I did have the skills to go ahead and release the book.
Wow. So since you released it, have you received any testimonies from people, from women, or even fathers, single fathers, that have read the book and say, wow, I needed this and this is perfect timing?
Yes. I've had people say, actually, I'm in leadership in my church, and a woman came to me and asked me to pray about her. She said, I have a newborn. I just want to be a good mother. And when she said that, then God said, give her your book.
Mm-hmm.
And so after church, I talked to her and gave her the book, and she was just telling me how much it blessed her, the
Wow.
practical knowledge and the practical information on it. I've had stories like that over and over again of mothers and people who had actually been waiting for me to release the book so that they could see how to be successful. And one of the things, my next book is going to be successful at parenting teenagers, because people have such a big, I kind of touched on that a little bit, but I think it needs to be a whole book about parenting teenagers, because when you get to the teenage stage, children start losing their minds, seems like, because of the hormones that start bombarding their body. But the important thing is for the parents not to lose their mind. And so as I see parents dealing with teenagers nowadays, I really believe it's a time for the book number 2.
Well, let's go.
Yes.
Perfect, perfect. No, I thank you so much for sharing your experience from both sides of the spectrum. So when you have the opportunity to call authors first time or repeat clients, you understand how they feel, some of the questions. And here at Joseph's Ministry, we try to, and we're very intentional about making the process and the flow for all of our services seamless. Again, like I said in the video, I created this company from my lessons learned.
Yes.
you know, to try to take away some of those fears and the questions and the uncertainty from people. Everything that I had, I'm like, okay, what can I do to subside that fear before it even comes? You know, so I want to be very intentional and very professional with each of the services that we provide. So awesome, awesome. So Shayla, so tell us, being newer to the team, tell us your experience and your role being here at Joseph's Ministry.
Yes, so my role right now is to do the digital marketing. So the things that you see on social media, I kind of create that content. And so far, my experience with Joseph Ministry has been great. I love it. And I think the thing that makes a difference between working with Joseph Ministry or with anybody else is that, I can tell that you really care about your clients and, what you put into them, and even the people that are working for Joseph Ministry, you want to put a lot into them. And I can tell that from the goals that you said that you were trying to, reach, or your goal and your mission to help people that you're actually working towards. And I think that has a lot to do with, the prayer and the fasting that you do for the team and for the people that are coming in that haven't even come in yet. I think it's important to, pray and speak on those things ahead of time, because then you can attract the people that you're supposed to and help those people move into better purpose and those type of things, which ultimately helps the kingdom, which is the goal, So I think that's something I just truly love about Joseph's Ministry. So that's why I like to tell people it's a difference.
It does. It does. And Shayla, whether you know it or not, you are a byproduct of those prayers, and LaRonda is too. But we were intentionally praying and having meetings about adding other people to our staff in specific roles. And with that being said, how did you come to be a part of the staff with Joseph's Ministry?
Yeah, I think it's a funny story because we were just talking. Me and Megan met some years ago, maybe like 1 or 2 years ago, at church. And during that time, I had no idea that she had Joseph Ministry. I've been knowing all this time and still had no idea. And then she just reached out one day just to check on me. And then we talked about kind of what I did in my line of work. And then she was like, "Oh." She gives it, "Okay, God, okay, God." And it turns out that I was, able to help with the need that she was having with Joseph Ministry. And I think we both prayed about it, and here we are.
Right. And it's so awesome because I just called to check on you as a sister in Christ. There was no motive. There was no, because I had no idea the background that you had. So it was no ulterior motives whatsoever.
Right.
It wasn't. And I was just as shocked as Shayla was. So it just lets me know that the things that we're doing, even behind the scenes to prepare, it's important, it's necessary, and it's needed to run Joseph's Ministry as effectively as possible. Yes, we are continuing to pray and fast for more staff in different areas. But just to be here at this point is nothing but the Lord, because I remember when it was just me. So as things continue to grow and expand, it can't just be one person, right? The vision cannot just fall on one person. So I am truly thankful for both of you ladies, and Bree, she couldn't make it today, but everybody who has a part and that plays a role in executing the vision and getting the finished product to our clients in excellence is an important role.
And thank you for being obedient to, what he told you to do, because we wouldn't be here today if you didn't.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Everybody has a role to play. So that leads me to want to share a little bit to the people about how Joseph's Ministry actually got started. You know, I tell people a lot that I started off as an author, right? So at the end of the day, I am an author. And I was going to another publisher At the time, this is back in around 2015. So Joseph's ministry didn't start until 2016. So 2015, 2014, went to another publisher to publish my first book. And this particular publisher at the time told me, once the first book was finished and it was successful and everything was great, they told me that they wanted to focus on doing children's books moving forward. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was a little like down because I knew I was supposed to write more books. So instead of me, starting from scratch, I was like, okay, Lord, so how do I publish my own book? And that was nothing that I desired to do or never dreamed of doing. But I knew I had to keep moving forward. Lo and behold, not knowing that was literally a part of my purpose. So I tell people, you know, everybody's story may be different. How we come about walking fully in our purpose and our calling, and mine starting with a no. Somebody told me no, so I was like, well, okay, well, I'm gonna do my own thing. And here we are today, literally, not knowing, starting from scratch. I said, okay, well, let's do some research. Let's do some praying, and not knowing that down the road that God wanted me to start a company to help other authors.
Yes.
And it just kind of developed from there. And I know that 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 I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing in this lane. So that's very encouraging. So I want to encourage anybody out there that's listening. Who cares if someone told you no? If you know that's what you're supposed to be doing, keep moving. Figure out a way to do it. Maybe you're the answer. You just never know. So literally, Joseph's ministry started because I received a no. I received a no. And all the services that we provide, everything that we provide is because it started with who I am. I provide publishing services because I'm an author first, right? We provide business startup services because I've started several businesses personally, right? Website design because I design websites, and it's very, very important. And I'm very keen on staying in my lane. You'll never see Joseph's ministry say, oh, our new service is give me something out the wall.
Construction.
Have a new service for construction. You'll never hear it. I promise you. We're gonna be
out.
We're not doing it. Our services are book publishing, business startups, and website design, and we're going to expand from there. We do produce magazines, but that's still under the publishing aspect and things like that, but it's still going to be within the scope of those three areas of service, and it's working. That's how you grow, that's how you gain strength, and gain a great foundation when you stay in your lane and grow from there. That's my personal experience.
Yes. I agree.
Absolutely. But is there anything else that we want to inform the people about regarding Joseph's ministry, about your experience or exposure with Joseph's ministry, encouragement to the people?
Yeah, I'd like to say that I wasn't aware until I started working for Joseph Ministry how Joseph Ministry is passionate about giving to the community, giving back to the community. Mm-hmm. So we do have a fund where we give to a nonprofit organization every quarter, and something that can help that organization to like the last one we gave to was someone who had actually used our services, but she was feeding homeless people. And so she was the recipient of our award. And I got the privilege of calling her, and she was just elated. and which most people are.
Right.
And another thing about Joseph's ministry that we also do is if when you recommend services to us, and once the person um, goes ahead and gets service with us, starts service with us, and then we do have a referral uh, payment that we do offer to people for referring anyone to our ministry that follows through with services. And I get the privilege of calling the people and telling them they got a referral coming to them, a fee anywhere from up to $50.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the people like, whoa, yeah, they like that when I call them and tell them that.
Yeah.
So to me, I've dealt with a lot of companies, and their thing was give us all you got, but never let us give back into you. And so I love about Joseph Ministry that Megan has a passion for that, because she's like, I got to get names. Do you know anybody that that I can give this to? So and give it away. And then also back to school time, when school's back to school, especially when we were actually going back to school, then
Mm-hmm.
she was giving away gift cards, several gift cards, not just one or two, but several gift cards that she was giving away to single parents or parents that were struggling
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. And I've been the privilege to call those people since I do the customer service, and the people like, what? How did my name get in there? Oh, thank you. I love those responses. I love those responses. And because Joseph's ministry is a ministry, it's not just a service to give the people the services and for us to gain money.
Right.
It's for us to give back, because that's what it's all about. When you live for God, is giving back. And so I love that about Joseph's ministry. I work for a lot of places, and not too many want to give back in that capacity.
Yeah.
That's so true. I'm a firm believer in my personal life that we reap what we sow, right? So that's just a part of my custom. Always sowing into good ground. Because going back to what we were talking about earlier with you writing your book and actually stepping out in faith and doing that, I had to do the same thing. So just imagine, and I'm saying this for the people that are watching, just imagine that if I didn't have the courage to step out on faith to start Joseph's ministry, and you had the courage to step out, but you didn't have anybody reputable and that you knew that you can trust to publish your story, you would still be at a standstill.
Yeah.
Or I took this courage to step out on faith, but now there's nobody to help, right? So it kind of all goes together. So I always encourage people, even when I have consultation calls with people regularly, I encourage them, don't just necessarily focus on the money aspect, because we have payment plans and we'll work with you with that. But the most important thing is producing the vision, producing the book, the business, or whatever the case may be, because there's people on the other side of your obedience that are waiting on you.
Yes.
And I'm so conscious of that, because to be honest, when I was first getting started with Joseph's ministry, I was still a little timid about it, because I was just like, well, I'm not really sure about this, but I knew it was something I was supposed to do. So I started off doing book coaching. Okay, 3 sessions, book coaching. And, it was great. I had an opportunity to talk to a lot of people. And my very first client that reached out to me, she was a young lady that lived in another state. And she actually reached out to me maybe a year or two prior, asking me to help her write her book. And to be honest, my confidence level at that time was not there. So I shooed her. I shooed her for like a year and a half, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll help you. Yeah, I'll look at it. Yeah. But I never did, because I didn't have the confidence. I didn't really know if this is what I was supposed to be doing. Could I really help anybody? Surely not. I'm new at being an author as well. So how could I help anybody? Right. So 2 years later, I finally got the confidence, and she was my first client for the book coaching that reached out to me. And, and she was actually my first client for the book, to publish her book.
Wow.
And I was like, wow. And it just really just like exploded from there.
Yeah.
But the Holy Spirit reminded me, he was like, Megan, that's great. Keep moving forward, keep being obedient. However, you held her up for 2 years because you were scared.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
And I was like, oh man.
That's a wake up call.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very, very conscious about being obedient. So when I tell people, tell clients, like, hey, if you have an urgency to do this, do it now.
Get it done.
Because
Yeah.
you don't know, who's on the other end. We're helping people produce, but then there's people on the other end of that, of their obedience.
Right.
So it's just everybody needs to obey. Basically, long story short, everybody needs to obey quickly.
Very quickly.
So when I say that, I really mean it because that happened to me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my goodness, I promise. Hopefully I'll never do that again. But, I'm so conscious of that. And, if she's watching, I just want to apologize. I ain't going to say her name. But I just want to apologize from the bottom of my heart. But I mean, that's a real true story. My confidence level was not there.
Wow.
And I get it, so when I work with clients, I'm not like, you need to be on 0 to 100 overnight.
Right.
And that's why we want to work with you. That's why we have LaRonda, make you laugh when she call you. She has a great temperament, great customer service skills, you know what I mean, to walk you through the process. Let's do this. We can do it together because we want what's best for you here at Joseph's Ministry. So it's exciting. It's
funny you would say that about you being afraid, because everybody that looks at my book, they look at the front and they look at the back and they say, who did this? This is excellent.
I've come a long way.
Or you at the front.
I'm telling you, it's
I had the book. They look at the book and say, "Oh, this is so nice." And then I say, "Look at the back." They look at the back, and I'm like, "Bam, that's me."
I'm telling you, we grow. We go from glory to glory, from faith, faith with everything.
Yeah.
It's only going to get better from here. We're only going to get higher and be better from here.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to lead this group, be a part of this group, to serve the clients that we serve, and those that we've already served in the past, and those who are coming. So if you are out there and you're watching and you're just like on the fence about doing what you're called to do, just reach out to us. Set up an appointment, a consultation call. It's free, 30 minutes. We can walk you through some things, talk it out, and see what's best for you. And that's what we do. And we want to make sure that everything that we do it in excellence because we want to serve you. So before we wrap it up on tonight, is there any last minute remarks or comments that you ladies want to leave the people?
I just think to encourage people. I know usually, like in my field, you have to do a lot of content creation, which kind of requires you to have a lot of ideas. Sometimes you just don't have ideas, they're not just that out of the box. And I usually remind myself that if it's something God called me to do, if he's telling you to do it, then that should make you draw closer to him, because that's who's going to give you a strength. It's not depending on you and your mind. It's depending on what he's going to give you and what he needs you to do. So while you're in that fear, I think it's important to still draw close to God so that he can continue to give you strength and direction. Yeah. Don't depend on yourself. If it feels that big, you need to go to somebody that big.
Yes, good.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
Then God never gives us anything that's doable for us.
Right.
Yeah, we always have to depend on him. He never does it, says, okay, do this. And you go, oh, piece of cake.
Right.
Usually you're like, whoa, how am I going to do this? Because in fact, I learned that Megan and I actually prayed together about this ministry before she started it. And I didn't even realize what I was praying with her about. But if it seems doable for yourself, it's probably not God. But if it seems like it's over your head, that's what I want you to trust him.
I'm telling you. And that's regarding, again, our 3 lanes: book publishing, business startups, and website design, online stores, and things like that. Our authors are not only flourishing, our business clients are also flourishing.
Yes.
Because we believe that everything that we put our hands to do, it shall prosper. So again, us praying and fasting for our clients, we don't do that just because we like to fast and we don't like food and stuff like that. We're being intentional, you know what I mean? And we care about you. We want to see your product and your services produce fruit, and that's what we want to do. So we just wanted to come out here tonight to just have a roundtable discussion about Joseph's ministry, what we provide, our heart behind what we do, and each of us have our own story. You know, Shayla has her own company. She didn't mention this, but she has her own company, and she has decided to join us to do what she does. So, Shayla, before we end, go ahead and promote your company.
Um, my company is Small Things Branding Co. It's a company that does content strategy, helps people grow their social media pages. Whether you need someone to actually do the social media post and creating it, or you just need kind of direction or ideas, I help with all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's what I do.
Awesome.
Brand management as well. If you're just starting a business, like Megan helped start the business, I just help like create that brand image. If you don't have an idea with like logos, creating brand kits, as well as I do content writing. So if you want like press releases and things like that, I do that as well.
Man, awesome. Thank you for sharing. She didn't know I was going to say that, but
I did.
I mean, we promote each other here. I mean, I
Yeah,
want everybody to win.
thank you.
Yeah. So all of us have our own unique lane and what we do at Joseph's Ministry, outside of Joseph's Ministry. But again, we are here to serve you. So if you are out there and anything that we've said tonight has sparked your interest, and you want to move forward within your vision, go to our website at josephsministryllc.com and schedule a consultation call with us, because we want to help you. We want to see your vision come to be manifested, so that everybody can be partake of what you have on the inside of you. So with that being said, thank you guys so much, Shayla and LaRonda, for your time. And thank you guys out there who are watching and those who are watching on the replay. We hope that you were blessed by tonight, and we've dropped just a little bit of nuggets for you guys to be encouraged and to keep moving forward with your vision. So
Yes.
with that being said, good night, everybody. We'll see you later.
Right.